some of it here so you can see at least the Sword Coast, which everyone's pretty familiar with. This is Ed Greenwood's home world that he invented, and he was writing stories in the Forgotten Realms before D&D even came out.
Get some stuff of the map room.
Sure.
Shall we retreat to the map room?
Before we do that, I want to get one more.
That's just a fantastic sentence to say out loud.
Retreat to the map room.
Retreat to the map room.
You don't need those eyeballs.
I've got two. You can sacrifice one.
So let's see, the main things that are in here. Each year for Gameholecon, we commission an original piece of artwork. I don't know why we started doing that, but I think other than that, we thought it was cool. So, year one was Terry Pavlett, and he did that snow dragon, white dragon with the dwarf frozen. That was year one. Year two was Jeff Butler, who was a TSR alum. He did this, sort of the Gamehole with dragon and Madison in the background. Year three was the great Errol Otis, who, again, these are heroes of mine, and he did that. That's an original. Again, he wanted to do a Gamehole, so that's what he asked. Errol Otis, what the Gamehole looks like, that's what comes out of his brain.
Nice.
4 was Diesel LaForce, who wanted to do a pulp magazine, like one of those, and so he did a Gamehole version of that. 5 was the great Larry Elmore, who did this one over here. The Griffin, the rider. And last year, Gamehole 6 was Jeff Easley, who did this one, which is one of my favorites. I really like the tonality of it. The colors are beautiful. He did a great job with that.
I was gonna say, it kind of reminds me of the old Tarzan comics. Who was that?
Yeah.
Hubert?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pulling a blank. Yeah, it's something like that.
Can't think of his first name. Is it Jeff or Joe? I don't know. But yeah, it has that.
But then as far as maps go, this is pretty cool. Frank Metzner did this for me. This is the Red Box Dungeon. This is an expansion. So the Red Box, if you have it, you open it up and where it starts, this actually expands the beginning and just gives you a little more to it. Then, so I have 2 major maps that are of extreme historical significance. One is the Known World. Lawrence Schick and Tom Moldvay played with this in college, and this is the one they used. And when they started working at TSR, they were, as you remember, they were trying to come out with more settings, and they needed material, and so they co-opted the Known World into the Gazetteers, which that's a whole line, the Gaz 1 through 14 or 15, I can't remember. And so there are places here that where the Gazetteers, those books, are located, and then it became the map, the background for the mystara setting. So for basic D&D, that's that map. That's the original one. Got it. It was in pretty rough shape. These guys weren't building things thinking that this is going to be important. They're just college kids, man. So they taped it together, and they're, not non-archival tapes and stuff. So, neutralizing the acids and getting it stable and framed and sealed. So that one's good. And the other one is behind you here, and this one's hard to show, but this is the original maps for the Forgotten Realms. So I'm going to start with some of it here so you can see at least the Sword Coast, which everyone's pretty familiar with. This is Ed Greenwood's home world that he invented, and he was writing stories in the Forgotten Realms before D&D even came out. So he predates D&D, and so he sold when he sold the rights to the Forgotten Realms, which is a huge map. This rolls out all past the wall. He then drew them out in 11 by 8.5 by 11s. Made a stack of them, sent them to TSR with an instruction manual on how to assemble them.
Yeah, 1A,
Yep.
2B.
And so Jeff Grubb received this package, assembled them all, taped them all together, and put them on his cubicle where it sat for years and years and years. And that's where all the great stuff from Forgotten Realms came from, this map. So I got it a few years ago, and then I had it's so big, so I had it sealed, and the tape's neutralized, so it's stable, and now it lives here. And I'm going to, I haven't exactly figured out how to display it, because it's so big, but it's safe and it's stable. That's job one. So anyway, those are my
As a
2
game
primary
table
maps.
would be cool.
It'd be huge, yeah. But yeah, you could put it under glass or something like that. I know.
Yeah.
I'm Still percolating on that, but we'll figure it out. I got some other cool things. These are kind of crazy. The ruins of Undermountain. You know, the ruins of Undermountain. That set, and it came out of the it's the Mad Mage, the hardbound from Wizards recently. I can't remember the full title. Anyway, I'm pulling a blank.
I think it's Dungeon of the Mad Mage.
Dungeon of the Mad Mage. I think you're right. So they were, when the TSR was putting that box set together, they needed maps. So what they did is they used Dave Sutherland's Empire of the Petal Throne maps. And so if you look at, and I have them, these are his original maps. And they
Don't start crying.
they look, if you look at the original, if you open up the original Undermountain set, and they have all these weird rooms, like triangle-shaped rooms, like what the hell's going on? Well, Dave had some reason for doing that in his EPT campaign that had nothing to do with Undermountain. So they didn't, so that's why this map's like, well, there are a bunch of things that aren't described here. I'm like, well, we just needed maps, so that's what we used.
We just used what we had.
There they are. Yeah, so I gotta get those fully archived as well.
This one behind you here, what is that?
This?
Is that a personal?
It's both. This is, we were talking about Tom Lommel and Dungeon Bastard. My buddy Tom, he's such a good guy. He was doing this great adventure called The Insurmountable Gauntlet of Doom.
Mm-hmm.
And it was super over the top.
Yep.
He knows house rule stuff about awesomeness and stuff. It's really fun.
It was a D30 instead of a D20.
Yep.
Double crit.
Exactly. That's right. All kinds of crazy stuff, and it was super fun. He's a really theatrical, fun DM. Anyway, this was his first one, and so after Gameholecon 1, he gave it to me, and I'm like, well, that was so much fun. I actually played. That was the only game I've ever played at Gameholecon. My guy said, "You got to play at least one game." I said, "All right." Yeah. We had an extra ticket for this, but someone returned it or something. So I sat and played and had such a good time that I had it laminated and saved for all time because I loved it. And Tom is such a good friend, and he certainly deserves to be with all this other stuff as far as I'm concerned, as far as what he did in the game and the hobby. So that's why that's there. So, yeah. This is my favorite piece of all time, though. Dave Parkinson. I bought this at Gen Con in 1989. And of course, Dave was still alive, and I remember he was at a booth. So I'm 19 at the time, between my freshman and sophomore year of college, Gen Con 1989, and I had like $45 total. Like that's all I got.
Right.
And I saw this print. And holy shit, that's beautiful. I just love how desolate it is. It's just so. I just loved it.
There's nothing.
Yeah, and North Watch, like this dude has got to sit there and stare at that shit and be vigilant. I just thought it was just so haunting. But this is the year like battle systems coming out, all kinds of stuff. I got $45. This print's $45. I walk around like I walked the show floor like 4 times. Like, oh, what do I do? I just So finally I bought this. And I'm so glad I did. So I always remember that from that day from 1989 Gen Con. Yeah, that's my favorite of favorites.
No, that's
for art.
Yeah, that is a a life-changing decision.
Yeah.
Like, oh, am I gonna?
I
buy
can always
this
get
every year?
Battle System. I got a bunch of copies
Right.
of that, but having to have a chance to talk to now deceased legendary Parkinson, and he saw me, he watched me, kept watching me go by.
Right. You're like,
and, okay, I'm gonna buy it. Okay, good. So,
yeah.
that was really cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah.